So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to SS Physics classes. I am Samson SS, a physics teacher for last 20 years. നിങ്ങളുടെ ആവശ്യപ്രകാരം കേരള എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് എൻട്രൻസിലെ ആദ്യ പരീക്ഷ കഴിഞ്ഞ ഉടൻ തന്നെ ബിഫാമിന് വേണ്ടി ഫിസിക്സ് കെമിസ്ട്രി പരീക്ഷ എഴുതിയ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളുടെ ആവശ്യപ്രകാരം എത്രയും പെട്ടെന്ന് കേരളത്തിൽ ആദ്യമായി ആൻസർ കീ നിങ്ങളുടെ മുന്നിലേക്ക് എത്തുകയാണ്. ആദ്യത്തെ 10 മിനിറ്റ് കൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് 72 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനിലെയും ഫിസിക്സിന്റെ ആൻസർ കീ ഏതെന്ന് നമുക്ക് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാം. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷം we can go with the detailed solutions after some time. So we can go with our 2021 physics question paper. My dear students, I am proud to say, if you just go through the 12 sessions I've done in the last few days, the students are blessed with the 100% of the concepts for the 2021 KEAM. So thank God for that blessing. So we can go with each and every solutions at first, but keep in mind the very important concept. 2020 മാതിരി തന്നെ ഈസി ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആണ് നമുക്ക് 2021 നമുക്ക് കിട്ടിയത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ സ്റ്റുഡൻസിന് ഈ കോവിഡ് കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ ഏറ്റവും മികച്ച റെസ്പോൺസ് കിട്ടാൻ ഇത് റീസണായി അതൊരു ബ്ലസ്സഡ് സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണ്. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് ഡീറ്റെയിൽഡോടെ സൊല്യൂഷൻസിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നതിന് മുന്നേ തന്നെ we can just go with the answers of that 72 questions at first. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷം നമുക്ക് ഡീറ്റെയിലോടെ നമുക്ക് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാം. കാരണം everybody are eager to know what is the answer for. Yes, so we can check one by one. So കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷത്തെ അതേ തരത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു അനാലിസിസ് തന്നെയാണ് 2021 നമുക്ക് നടത്താൻ പറ്റുക. നമ്മുടെ ഫസ്റ്റ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനുകൾ സാധാരണ ചോദിക്കുന്ന മാതിരി തന്നെ 3 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസും നമ്മുടെ യൂണിറ്റ്സ് ആൻഡ് മെഷർമെന്റ് എന്നുള്ള ചാപ്റ്റർ ബേസ് ചെയ്താണ്. The question number 1, we got the answer as the second one, the momentum, and the second one from error, you are with the percentage error of A. The very concept are from my revision class, so that is a speciality. The third one, so 1.05, the answer should be with the 3 significant figures, and hence we can take the value as the HYs. So 1 by B, 2A and 3A. And next, the question number 4. So from the 2-dimensional motion, or with the number C, a simple question. But you to find the velocity, you have to take the tan value of Vy by Vx, and you get the value as the C choice. Number 5, and you have to take one assumption as the value of G is constant inside the mine, then you take the value as B as the answer. The stopping distance of a moving vehicle is proportional to, there also you have to take the force acting on it as a constant, and hence we can say that sixth one as the C choice, the square of initial velocity. And the 7th one, when a body starts from rest, moves with the constant acceleration, so the velocity with respect to time, and we can easily say that is V equal to U plus A, V proportional to T, and hence we can take the answer as A choice. Number 8, a wooden block, so you have to consider the 2 forces, the applied one, the force of friction, the resultant, it is equal to M into A, and you get the answer for 8th one as the D choice. And we can move with the question number 9. See, which one of the following statement is incorrect? Incorrect. Which one of the following statement is incorrect? See, the state of rest, the uniform linear motion with imply the 0 acceleration. A net force is needed to keep a body in uniform. Inertia means resistance to change. The rate of change of momentum is proportional to the applied force. The momentum is a vector quantity. I can read it, but it will take more time to complete. So the better option is just we can go with the each and every answers. After that, I will discuss. So that is the better one. For ninth one, you get the answer is a net force is needed to keep a body in uniform motion. Force must be zero there. So B is the answer. Question number 10. On a conveyor belt moving with a speed u, sand falls at a constant rate dm by dt, where m is the mass of sand and the extra force required to maintain the speed of the belt is. So simple concept that we can use it, variable mass concept. Then there we can say f is equal to u into dm by dt, and you get the answer that question number 10 as D choice. So we can move with question number 11. The area under the force time graph that you just multiply that force into time. The force is dp by dt, dt cancel, and you get the value of momentum. Yeah, that is a very important concept, or we can say the change in momentum. C is the answer. When a metal spring is elongated within elastic limit, that elongation gives the potential energy on it, and hence we can say the potential energy B that is stored in it. That is nothing but equal to as a half into that load into extension. So that is B as the concept. The instantaneous power in terms of force and velocity is work by time. Then we can say F into V, F dot V. So we can say B as the answer for 13. So we can move with the next one. Number 14. A ball with 10 cubic joule of kinetic energy collide with a horizontally mounted spring. If the maximum compression of the spring is 50 centimeter, then the spring constant of the spring is. So the kinetic energy is given, the total potential energy to that is equal to half k into x square, and we can find the value of k, that 14 to 1, we get the answer as the C choice as 8 into 10 to the power of 3. Number 15. An object released from certain height h from a ground rebounds to height h by 4 after striking the ground. The fraction of energy loss, the fraction of energy loss with respect to the total energy. So if I initialize mg into h, then next one it got the energy of mg into h by 4. So that difference division by the energy, and you get the answer as is equal to 3 by 4. B is the answer. Number 16. A solid metal ring and a disc of the same radius and mass are rotating about their diameters with the same angular frequency. The ratio of the respective rotational kinetic energies. And keep in mind, as a half I 1 omega square by half I 2 omega square, the omega are same, and hence we can say that I1 by I2, that is the value. And for 16 to 1, you get the answer as the C choice. Good. So we can move with the next one, number 70. The x and y coordinate of the three particles of the masses m, 2m, and 3m are respectively the x coordinate of the center of mass of the system is. And keep in mind, we can write the equation as is equal to m1x1 plus m2x2 plus m3x3 by m1 plus m2 plus m3. You can just put it each and every coordinate, and you get the answer as the D choice as minus 2 by 3. Number 18. The radius of gyration of a solid cylinder of radius r and length L about its axis of symmetry. And keep in mind, the axis is axis of symmetry, the length, no implication. So you have to r square by 2, and you get the answer as that is the second choice as B is the answer. Then we can move with the next one, number 19. When no external torque acts on a rotating system, and you know the angular momentum is a constant, but here it is not conserved angular momentum. Its rotational kinetic energy is conserved. Now, the rotational kinetic energy is independent of moment of inertia, and its rotational kinetic energy is directly proportional to moment of inertia. The rotational kinetic energy is inversely proportional to the moment of inertia. Constant, we can take that twice kinetic energy is equal to L square division by 2I. You get the concept as the 19th one. That is, you get the answer as E choice. Then we can move with the question number 20. The Kepler's third law, if T be the time period of a planet around the sun and D is its mean distance from the sun, then according to the Kepler's third law, we can say the square of time period is proportional to cube of that semi-major axis. We can say C as the answer. Number 21, if the Earth shrinks to half of the present size and the mass reduces to half of its actual mass, the acceleration due to gravity on its surface, we can say G is equal to capital GM division by R square, and you get the answer as is equal to S 21, that is equal to 2G, C as the choice. We can move with the question number 22. So dear one, ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ എൻ്റെ അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് ഇത്രയും ഉള്ളൂ. നിങ്ങൾ പരീക്ഷ കഴിഞ്ഞ ഉടൻ കുറച്ച് പേര് മെഡിക്കൽ ആസ്പിറൻസിന്റെ എക്സാം കഴിഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നു. അതിന്റെ ആൻസർ കീ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ളതാണല്ലോ ആദ്യത്തെ ഉദ്യമം. അതിലേക്ക് വരാനുള്ള ഒരു ശ്രമമാണ്. സോ നമ്മുടെ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് ആസ്പിറൻസ് മാത്സ് പരീക്ഷ കഴിഞ്ഞിറങ്ങുമ്പോൾ ഉറപ്പായിട്ടും അവരുടെ കയ്യിലേക്ക് കംഫർട്ടായിട്ട് ആൻസേഴ്സ് എത്തുക. ഇതാണ് എൻ്റെ മോട്ടിവേഷൻ. സോ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷം നമുക്ക് ഇൻ ഡീറ്റെയിലൂടെ നമുക്ക് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാം. സോ നമ്പർ 22. When two identical spheres, each of radius r, are kept in contact with each other, then the force of attraction between the two spheres is proportional to m. ഒരു controversy ഉള്ള ഒരു question ആണ്, but the correct answer we can say for 22 as B r raised to 4. Number 23, with the increase of temperature, the surface tension of liquid increases, viscosity of gases decreases, viscosity of liquids increases, both the surface tension and the viscosity of liquid increases, both the surface tension and the viscosity of liquid decreases. We can call the 23 as E as the answer. We can move with the question number 24. The true statement is the Young's modulus of a wire depends upon its length. It is not one. The unit of Young's modulus is Newton per meter square. The dimension formula of stress is the same as that of force, not pressure. The unit of strain is kilogram per meter square, no dimension, and hence you get the answer as E choice. The compressibility is the reciprocal of bulk modulus. Number 25. When a body is strained, energy stored per unit volume is nothing but equal to half into stress into strain. You can express in terms of stress or strain, and you get the correct answer for 25 as the 3 choice, third one. Number 26. Look. According to the equation of continuity, when a liquid flows through a cube of variable cross-section A with variable velocity V, the quantity that remains constant is, and keep in mind the quantity of water flowing per second is treated as a constant, and hence we can say that area into velocity is a constant. Number 27, the two thermally insulated identical vessels A and B, and keep in mind the thermally insulated, are connected through a stopcock. A contains the gases as TP and B is completely evacuated. If the stopcock is suddenly opened to the evacuation, there the pressure becomes zero, and hence that keep in mind ഒരു വോളിയം അത് ഡബിൾ ആയി മാറുകയാണ് അല്ലേ. അപ്പൊ പ്രഷർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഹാഫ് ആയി മാറുന്നു. ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് എ വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് വൺ. അത് കറസ്പോണ്ടിങ് ആയിട്ട് കീപ്പ് ഇൻ മൈൻഡ് സി the internal energy should decrease, and hence we can say for 27 as the C choice. We can move with the question number 28. A process in which there is no flow of heat between the system and the surrounding, and that is what is called the adiabatic process. When the temperature of the source of the Carnot engine is at 400 Kelvin and its efficiency is 25%, the required increase in temperature of the source to increase the efficiency to 50% is ഒരു ചെറിയൊരു എറർ ഈ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനിൽ വരുന്നുണ്ട്. ആൻസർ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നത് ഇൻക്രീസ് ഇൻ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ അഡീഷണലി, ബട്ട് യു ഗെറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് final temperature is there, so we can got the answer as the B choice, number 29. Number 30, when an ideal diademic gas is heated at a constant pressure, the fraction of heat energy supplies that increase the internal energy of the gas is delta Q by delta U. You can say take as N into Cp delta T by N into Cv delta P. That is the concept. and you get the answer as 31 as A as the answer. And we can move with the question number 31. The ratio of the kinetic energy values of 4 gram of hydrogen to 7 gram of nitrogen at room temperature. Number of moles based the question, you will never get an answer for that. So we can fundamental concept use here that it depends upon the temperature, and hence we can say that the kinetic energy and the same idea is the answer. Number 32. A planet with radius r and acceleration due to gravity is a small g will have atmosphere only if the RMS speed of air molecule is less than, it must be less than the escape velocity root 2 capital G m by r, and we can get the answer as is equal to 1.41 root gr. And we can go with the question number 33. The ratio of acceleration to the gravity on the surface of Earth to that on the surface of the moon is 6:1. Then the ratio of the period of the simple pendulum on their surfaces. That time period t take the value as is equal to root of L by G ratio, and you get the answer for 33 as D twice. And we can move with the question number 34. The velocity of a transverse propagating on a stretched string represented by the equation. So you can just use the concept as omega by k. So that wave velocity as omega by k, and you get the answer as E twice as 34 as E. And for 35, the kinetic energy of a particle of mass m executing linear simple harmonic motion with angular velocity omega and amplitude A is 1/4 ma square omega square at a distance dash from the main position. The kinetic energy at any position, we can say as the kinetic energy is equal to half of omega square into amplitude square minus that position square. And from that you get the answer for 35th one as A as the answer. And we can move with the question number 36. When two sound waves of slightly different frequencies F1 and F2 are there together, the time interval between the successive maximas, the beat frequency is nothing but equal to F1 minus F2. So their reciprocal, that is nothing but equal to the time period as 1 by F1 minus F2. Number 37, the potential at a point distance r due to an electric dipole is proportional to, that it is equal to 1/4 pi epsilon 0, that p cos theta division by r square, and hence we can say for 37, it is D choice as the answer. And now number 38, an air capacitor and identical capacitor filled with the dielectric medium of dielectric constant 5 are connected to a series to a voltage source of 12 volt. The fall in potential across C1 and C2 are respectively. They are connected in series. The potentials are divided, but the Q element is a constant. As the Q is equal to Z into V, and hence we can say V is proportional to, yes, the capacitor, inversely proportional to the capacitance. You get the answer as B choice for question number 38. And we can move with the question number 39. The ratio of the magnitude of electrostatic force between the two protons at a distance r apart to that between the two electrons at the same distance of separation is. So for 39, they are with the same charges, and hence the ratio becomes 1:1. When two charges are kept in a medium at a certain distance d apart, the force between them is a capital F. When they are kept in dielectric medium at the same distance of separation, the force between them becomes F by 2. The dielectric constant of the medium for question number 40, you get the value as the second one. Keep in mind, exactly 72 questions exactly 36 questions first year 50% exactly from plus 1 and 50% from plus 2. Second year easy questions. Number 41, the magnitude of the drift velocity acquired per unit electric field, that is what is called the mobility. And we can move with the question number 42. A Wheatstone network is balanced with the respective resistors 5 ohm, 10 ohm, 20 ohm, and 40 ohm in the P, Q, R, and S amps. If a 40 ohm resistor is connected across the S, then the bridge is again balanced by connecting. നമുക്കറിയാം P by Q equal to R by S. അതാണ് കൺസെപ്റ്റ്. R എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 20 ആണ്. 40ലേക്ക് 20 കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അത് 20 ആയി. അപ്പോൾ ഈ രണ്ടെണ്ണം ഈക്വൽ ആക്കാനുള്ള ശ്രമം നടത്തിയാൽ മതി. You can connect that 10 ohm across the Q. So that is a very important concept there. And then again, we can move with the next concept as is equal to number 43. If one cell is connected wrongly in series combination of 4 cells, each of EMF 1.5 volt and internal resistance of 0.5 ohm, then the equivalent internal resistance of the combination. And keep in mind the internal resistance എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒരു കാരണവശാലും അത് മറ്റു ഫാക്ടേഴ്സിനെ ഡിപെൻഡ് ചെയ്യത്തില്ല. So here 4 are in series, and hence you get the answer as a 443 as a D as the answer, just 4 into 0.5. So yes, as that is equal to 4 into 0.52 ohm. We can go with the question number 44. A carbon resistor is marked with the rings colored blue, black, and red silver, and its resistance in ohms. So you can just take that blue is nothing but equal to 6. So you get the answer as a choice. The tolerance is 10% because of the silver. So do you want? ഈ നമ്മുടെ നീറ്റ് എൻട്രൻസ് പരീക്ഷ എഴുതുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, ഐക്കാർ എൻട്രൻസ് പരീക്ഷ എഴുതുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഈ ചാനലിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഒരു ലൈവ് റിവിഷൻ ക്ലാസ്, maybe with 25 plus days with you, free of cost. So dear one, so please share this information to dear one. From Monday onwards, I am trying to begin that class with a അത്യാവശ്യ തിയറിയും അതോടൊപ്പം questions ചെയ്യുന്ന തരത്തിൽ giving importance to each chapters. So stay tuned with me. Really, it will help you. A conductor of length 20 centimeter and carrying current of 5 ampere is placed at an angle of 30 degree to the external magnetic field of 0.5 Tesla. The force acting on it. So that 45, take the answer as the C choice. A current carrying coil is placed in a magnetic field B experiences a torque tau. If theta is the angle between the normal to the plane of the coil and the field B, and phi is the flux linked with the coil, then you get the answer as the E choice. And then in cyclotron, the frequency of revolution of the charged particle in a magnetic field is independent of, you know the concept as F is equal to QB division by 2 pi m. And from that you can write its speed or its energy. Number 48, the hard ferromagnetic material among the following, that is alnico, that is nothing but an alloy, alcomax, example. Number 49, if BC is the magnetic induction at the center of a circular coil carrying current, then the magnetic induction at a point on the axis of the coil at a distance equal to the radius of the coil is, and you get the answer for 49 as A as the choice. Number 15, look, if air core is replaced by an iron core in an inductor, its self-inductance is increased from 0.2 millihenry to 40 millihenry. The relative permeability of the iron is. So, proud to say, this question, ഡിസ്കഷനിലേക്ക് വന്ന ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ്. അതേപടി ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചു. അതോടൊപ്പം പ്രൗഡ് ടു സേ നമ്മുടെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് 100 ഫിസിക്സ് പോയിന്റ്സ് അതിനൊരു ബിഗ് സല്യൂട്ട് കൊടുത്തേ പറ്റൂ. കാരണം 72 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യന്റെ ഒരു 65 പ്ലസ് കോൺസെപ്റ്റ്സും അതിനുള്ളിൽ നിന്ന് വന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് പ്രൗഡ് ടു സേ. സോ നിങ്ങളുടെ അപ്രീസിയേഷനും മറ്റു കാര്യങ്ങൾക്കും ഒത്തിരി താങ്ക്സ് ഉണ്ട്. ലുക്ക് ദ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ നമ്പർ 51. Among various circuit constructed with the capital R, inductor L and capacitor C, the circuit gives the maximum power dissipation that will happen when the maximum power, maximum current, when the cosine, the power factor become maximum 1, that is a purely resistive circuit. Eddy currents are not used in the application of You know, the induction furnace, damping, magnetic power meters, ഇതെല്ലാം eddy current use ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. So we can take the thermal generators based on the heating effects of current. B as the answer. Number 53. The total intensity of Earth magnetic field at the poles is 7 unit. Its value at the equator. You know, at the pole, there is only the vertical component. So the total field is the vertical component. But at the equator, there is only the horizontal component, but that is the total field. And hence, we can say C is the answer. Number 54, the electromagnetic waves against their detector devices are matched with that gamma rays. Yes, we discussed നമ്മുടെ discussion classൽ തന്നെ ionization chamber, microwaves, very good. The point counter diode, X-rays, yes, നമ്മുടെ സാധാരണ ഈ വിസിബിൾ ലൈറ്റും കഴിഞ്ഞ് നമ്മുടെ ഇൻഫ്രാറെഡ് വരെയും ഫോട്ടോഗ്രാഫി ഫിലിം ഡിറ്റക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. അൾട്രാ വയലറ്റ്, യെസ്, അത് ഫോട്ടോ ഡയോഡാണ് സാധാരണ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ദാറ്റ് മേ ബി ദ ആൻസർ ഹിയർ. ഇൻഫ്രാറെഡ് ബോളോമീറ്റർ, തെർമോപൈൽസും ഒക്കെ അതിൽ പറയാറുണ്ട്. So D is the answer. In an electromagnetic wave, the oscillating electric and magnetic field vectors are oriented in mutually perpendicular directions with a phase difference of pi/2, same direction and the same phase, mutually perpendicular directions with a phase difference of pi, the same direction with a phase difference of pi/2, and mutually perpendicular directions and are in phase. So the electric field and magnetic field and തമ്മില് yes, ഇതേപോലെ തരത്തില് mutually perpendicular ആണ്, but they are starting from a single point. We can move with the question number 56. The Fresnel distance for an aperture of a size A is illuminated by a parallel beam of light of wavelength lambda. Deciding the validity of a ray optics is, so that is nothing but equal to 456. So we can take D as the answer, as A square by lambda. The apparent depth of a needle lying in a water beaker is found to be 9 centimeters. If water is replaced by liquid of refractive index 1.5, then the apparent depth of needle will be. So on calculation, you get the answer as 57 as E choice. So there is a question from here. What is the fees for repeaters course? Please call to this number. We will give the correct pattern of my class, etc. രണ്ട് തരത്തിലാണ് ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത്. ഒന്ന്, we can go with one online class as a classroom through WebEx platform. അത്തരത്തിലൊരു ബാച്ച് ഉണ്ടാവും. രണ്ടാമത്, if you have a doubt for one chapter or a one problematic situation you need, say 2Dയുടെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ലോസിന്റെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് വേണം, നീറ്റ് പ്രകാരം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കീം പ്രകാരം എന്നാവശ്യപ്പെടുമ്പോൾ ഇൻഡിവിജ്വൽ ആയിട്ട് അവർ ബേസ് ചെയ്ത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടി ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കുന്നു. ഇങ്ങനെ രണ്ട് തരത്തിലാണ് റിപ്പീറ്റേഴ്സ് പ്രോഗ്രാമുമായിട്ട് PHySICS ക്ലാസ്സിനെ നിങ്ങളെ സഹായിക്കാൻ പറ്റുക. താല്പര്യമുള്ളവർക്ക് ആ ഫോൺ നമ്പറിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ബന്ധപ്പെടാവുന്നതാണ്. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ +1, +2 ഫിസിക്സ് കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ട്യൂഷനും അതോടൊപ്പം എൻട്രൻസ് ക്ലാസ്സസും എടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങളിൽ ആർക്കും അനുജന്മാരും അനുജത്തിമാരും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പ്ലീസ് ഷെയർ ദാറ്റ് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ. സ്കൂളിന്റെ സമയക്രമവുമായിട്ട് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടില്ലാത്ത തരത്തിലായിരിക്കും അത് പഠിപ്പിക്കുക. So we can go with the next one, number 58. An object is placed at 10 centimeters in front of a concave mirror. If that image is at 20 centimeters from the mirror on the same side of the object, then the magnification produced by that mirror is -2. In Young's double slit experiment, the two different light beams of wavelength lambda1 and lambda2 produce interference patterns with bandwidth beta1 and beta2 respectively. If the ratio between B1 and B2 is 3:2, then the ratio between lambda1 and lambda2 is so just proportional to wavelength, and you get the answer for it as is equal to 3/2. D is the answer. നീറ്റ് എഴുതുന്ന കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങൾ മറന്നു പോകരുതേ. From the Monday onwards, the free online crash course for you, especially for you. എൻ്റെ മറ്റ് ഈ ലൈവായിട്ട് നടത്തിയ ഓരോ സെക്ഷൻ്റെയും നമ്മുടെ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട അടുത്ത ഒരു വാട്സപ്പ് ലിങ്ക് ഷെയർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻ ബോക്സിൽ. അതുവഴി നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിലേക്ക് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്. അത് മറന്നു പോകരുത്. Then only we can give enough ideas to you description box WhatsApp group join ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക. അത് after the class ഇതിൽ തന്നെ ഞാൻ അതുകൂടെ ഷെയർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. So you can join it. So we can go with question number 60. If theta p is the polarizing angle for a glass plate of refractive index mu and the critical angle theta c, അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് രണ്ട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഒരുമിച്ച് ചേർക്കണം. Brewster's law as a tan theta p equal to mu and critical angle sin theta is equal to 1 by mu, and you get the answer as B choice. Two materials A and B having respective work functions, so 3 electron volt, 4 electron volt, are emitting photoelectrons of the same maximum kinetic energy. If the wavelength of the incident light on A is 500 nanometer, then that of the incident on capital B is yes. So keep in mind there, you can just use the Einstein's relation and you get the answer for 61, and that is equal to A 400 nanometer. And we can move with the question number 62. The momentum of an alpha particle is that of a proton is half that of a proton. Then the ratio between the wavelength of their de Broglie waves is. So that is for 62, you get the answer as 2:1. And for 63, during beta decay of a radioactive element, there is an increase in its atomic number, that is nothing but proton number. 64, 10 to the power of 18 fissions per second is required for producing power of 300 megawatt in a nuclear power station. To increase the power output to 360 megawatt, the additional number of fissions required per second is. So you can just use the logical concept as 10 raised to 8 fissions in 300 megawatt. One fission you can easily calculate that answer for 64 as 2 into 10 to the power of 70. Number 65, the ratio of total energy E of the electron and its kinetic energy, their magnitude is equal ആണെന്നുള്ള കാര്യം മറന്നു പോകരുത്. പക്ഷേ kinetic energy an opposite sign എന്നുള്ള aspect മറക്കരുത്. So 65, you get the answer as D choice. And we can move with the next one. If the mass number of two nuclei are in the ratio 3:2, the ratio of their nuclear densities is. So that is the concept there. So here keep in mind the nuclear density എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒരു കാരണവശാലും അതിന്റെ മാസ് നമ്പറിനെ ഡിപെൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. ഇറ്റ്സ് എ കോൺസ്റ്റന്റ് ആണ് of the order of 10 to the power of 17, and hence we get the answer as D choice. In p-type semiconductor, holes are minority carriers. The vacancy of electron is a hole with a negative charge. The impurity element added is a donor type, and for every pentavalent impurity atom added, an extra hole is created. The electron move from one hole to the another hole, constituting a flow of current. പക്ഷെ p-type semiconductor ആകുമ്പോൾ ഒരിക്കലും keep in mind the very important one, ഒരു trivalent impurity ആണ് നമ്മൾ ആഡ് ചെയ്യുക അല്ലേ. അപ്പൊ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന vacancy, yes, that is the vacancy. അത് കാരണം അവിടെ നമ്മുടെ acceptor അയോണിന് നെഗറ്റീവ് ചാർജ് വരുന്നു എന്നുള്ള കാര്യം ഓർക്കുക. So that is the concept there, and hence we get the choice as B choice. Number 68. In a common base mode of transistor, the current through the emitter is 6 milliampere. If the current gain of the transistor is 0.95, then its base current is. So you can just use that alpha, take the value of delta IC division by delta IE. You can find the value of delta IC, and you can put on that IE equal to IB plus IC. You get the answer for the base current as is equal to as a 68. You get the answer as a B choice. The compound semiconductor making LEDs. സാധാരണ LEDസിന് നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഓർക്കുക ഗാലിയം ആർസനൈഡ് and phosphide concept ആയിരിക്കും നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുക. And then number 70. A transistor amplifier along with a tank circuit with positive feedback will act as a positive feedback വരുമ്പോൾ it will act as a oscillator. It is very important. In a transmitter, the audio signal of frequency omega m is modulated by the carrier signal and the band pass filter to reject the frequencies. അപ്പോൾ അൺവാണ്ടഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഫ്രീക്വൻസീസിനെ റിജക്ട് ചെയ്യാണ് ബാൻഡ് പാസ് ഫിൽട്ടർ ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യമുള്ളതാണ് ഒമേഗ സി പ്ലസ് ഒമേഗ എം, ഒമേഗ സി മൈനസ് ഒമേഗ എം. സോ അൺവാണ്ടഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളത് സി ചോയ്സ്. The last question, pick out the incorrect statement from the following. Speech signals requires bandwidth, yes, from 300 to 3100. The approximate bandwidth to transmit music is 20, surely. The bandwidth of video signals to record to transmit pictures is 4 point, surely. The bandwidth usually allocated to transmit TV signals. The digital signals are usually in the form of square waves, so that incorrect one is the E choice. So dear one, so we just completed all the questions for KEAM 2021. Thank God. Thank to my family members. ഈ ഒരു സമയത്ത് എൻ്റെ കുറച്ചധികം വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾ അവർ കൃത്യസമയത്ത് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് എത്തിച്ചത് കൊണ്ടാണ് എനിക്കിത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയത്. അവരോടുള്ള താങ്ക്സ് ഞാൻ അറിയിക്കുന്നു. നിങ്ങളെ ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഒരു കൺസെപ്റ്റ്, നിങ്ങളൊരു നല്ല എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സ് ആയിട്ട് മാറാനുള്ള സാധ്യത ഈ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പറിലൂടെ കിട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഗോ അഹെഡ് വിത്ത് നല്ല എനർജിയോടെ, നല്ല ആത്മാർത്ഥതയോടെ അധ്വാനിക്കുക. ടു ദ especially to our country, to your family, the family members that are very, very important. So we can wait for the live section in detail after some time. So everyone, thank you. Please share this channel to everybody and also try to subscribe it, like and share. Thank you. Take care.